Hi everyone, we're Travel with Johnny and Will, and today is our day 2 on board Marella Discovery 2 on our Spanish Flavors cruise.
Yeah. So today is a sea day for us as we make our way to Palma. And as it was a late one last night, we decided that we would have a lay-in, which meant that we didn't actually surface until I think it was about 11
We
before we
didn't
got.
even have breakfast,
Yeah,
no.
we skipped breakfast because, someone had a bit of a fuzzy head, and someone was fine. So yeah, we skipped breakfast, and we just got up and ready then to head for. We were going to go for an early lunch, but then we decided not to because there was an event on in the Atrium that we wanted to go and catch. So we thought we'd make our way to the coffee port, try and get rehydrated,
Yeah.
and catch this event. So let's tell you about the event.
So at the Atrium it was a Meet the Showcast, and it was 5 members of the singing and dancing team, and they were doing a little Q&A with the cruise director, Cree.
Yeah, so they started off by chatting about how they got into basically their craft, and
Yeah.
then as well as that, then how they auditioned and how they then started to put the shows together.
And how that works on land, and how many weeks of rehearsals they have to do prior to getting onto the ship, and then the way they blend the two show teams for 2 weeks until the next show team is fully up to date with what the current show team's
Yeah.
doing.
So they call that the install period, which none of them seem to enjoy. It seems to be a lot of long working hours for them during the day. But it was really interesting to get like sort of an insight as to how that all actually happens, because obviously you go to a cruise on a cruise ship, and you go to the theatre and they put on these wonderful shows, and you just sort of don't really realise the amount of work that sort of goes into
Yeah.
it. But here on Marella, the showcast, they learn 12 shows, which means then if you're on board for a fortnight, you will definitely see a different show
Yeah,
every night.
it's crazy that they can memorize 12 shows, so 6 a week, and then they get one night off, don't they?
Yeah.
Because there's a guest act will come in for that one night a week. But yeah, I just think it's completely crazy that they can actually
Yeah.
remember that and perform it.
Yeah, so it was really good, and we really enjoyed it. And the cruise director opened the questions out to the floor, and a lot of guests had different questions and that to answer too. A lot of guests had questions to ask.
Sorry, yeah, they weren't performing.
No,
Johnny.
although maybe some of the guests would be great performers. Yeah, so it was a really great time just being there and sort of taking it all in. Whilst we had a few drinks and a cuppa.
And the good thing with that venue is the Atrium bar is on deck 4, and then on deck 6 there is the coffee port. So there's plenty of spaces within all the tiers of the decks around the atrium for everybody to get a view, really, and it's a great space.
Yeah. So then we decided to head for lunch. So as we had skipped breakfast, we were quite hungry. So we ended up going to the restaurant 47 Degrees to have our lunch. And we both started off with the chicken satay for a starter,
Yes, yeah.
which was really yummy. And then for main course, again, we actually had the same thing. We had the sweet chili chicken sandwich that came with some fries. Now we have to say, the service was slow.
Yeah, there was a couple that had come in after us who were served their main before us. It just felt the first course the starter came out really quick. Between the starter and the main, it was like over 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, it just seemed like a long time to be waiting for the next course. But in saying that now, the food itself was very enjoyable whenever it came to us. And then for dessert, basically, I had the chocolate Marquez cake, which was mwah.
So I had the bread and butter pudding for my dessert, and it was delicious as well.
So after lunch, we decided it was a nice day, and we thought, look, let's go for a bit of a walk. So we just went round the outside decks. There's quite a nice area to sort of walk around on that. Is it deck 10? Deck 10, yeah. Which is sort of the one level up then from the pool deck. And there is quite the distance sort of to walk around. Is it like 4 times round it's a mile?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just decided to go out for a little bit of a dander.
So after this, we were feeling a bit thirsty, so we came into the coffee port. I was really just wanting to grab a cold drink for myself, but Johnny was wanting a coffee and a cold drink, but
Yeah.
there was a slight issue with this.
Yeah, I sort of wasn't getting through to the guy because basically, first of all, I had ordered a cappuccino and a can of Fanta. Okay, it was hardly the hard stuff. So after I'd ordered my drinks, then you had been over looking at something, and then you came over and you were like, "Oh, did you order me a
No,
cold
I was
drink?"
looking at the penguin. It was looking in the window.
Yeah.
It was out in
So the penguin was
So
watching
I was
Will,
wanting to-
and Will was watching the penguin.
Yeah.
So then I was like, "Oh no, I didn't know what you wanted." So then we tried to order Will a drink, and the guy was like, "Sorry, only 2 drinks per on the one card." And I was like, "Yes, okay. So here's Will's card." No, same cabin. Yes, same cabin. No, only 2 drinks per cabin. And I was like, I want a hot and cold drink
For yourself.
for myself. We were actually heading back to the cabin just to chill, and we sort of thought, right, well, I want a hot and cold drink because there's no fridges in the cabins, so you can't bring drinks back to your cabin and keep them chilled. So I was like, well, I want 2 drinks and he wants a cold drink. So
Yeah.
where's the harm in this exactly? Oh, company rules, company rules. Actually, my friend, that is not the rule, because we actually then read up, well, I did, whenever we got back
On
to
the
the cabin.
Life on Board
Life on
magazine,
Board
yeah.
magazine, it does actually say that you can only have 2 drinks per transaction. So technically speaking, my card was 1 transaction.
For 2 drinks.
For 2 drinks. Will's card would have been a set.
And that's what he did in the end. He took my card
Yeah.
and ordered the drink. So I don't even know why there was the fuss. He should have just said, "Okay, can I have your card?" And that was it. That's all he had to do.
Because realistically, I could have stood at the coffee port, ordered my 2 drinks. Will could have went 2 decks down to the Atrium bar and ordered 2 drinks as well. And not only that, I don't get the fact that, we weren't looking for 4 double vodkas and Red Bull. Do you know what I mean? We were literally wanting soft drinks and coffee. So, come on.
Yeah.
Sea days can be quite lazy if you want them to be, and we sort of wanted a lazy one. We quite like a sea day at the beginning of the cruise because normally for us at home we're all rush,
Yeah.
getting things done at home, getting things done at work so we can come away. So actually the first couple of days in our cruise we do like it just to sort of take it easy.
I think because we are rush, and then we're up early on the day one, bed late on day one, we just wanted to really take that time to fully relax and reset. And having the sea day on day 2 means you can do that, and it's great.
So I spent some time out in the balcony in the sunshine, and then come in and put the feet up inside for a bit when it was too warm outside. But we had a very relaxing afternoon.
So tonight, as it was the sea day, and the sea day normally is the dress to impress night, isn't it, Johnny? Is that right?
So what is the dress to impress night?
So on Marella, it just means you wear very smart looking clothes, the best attire that you feel that you want to wear. It does not mean wear a tux.
No.
It doesn't mean women even must be in a dress. It just means wear something very smart. Probably don't wear t-shirts, don't wear shorts.
Yeah, and actually, whenever on the cruise directors TV program that they put on in the cabins, Cree was actually sort of saying, and he put it really well, is dress to impress yourself. That's the only person you need to impress is yourself.
And to be fair, this is what we wore.
Yeah.
So, it's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be really all out.
Yeah, we went out in a pair of chinos, and Will's wearing a shirt, I'm wearing a little jumper and that. So, yeah, it doesn't have to be, so elegant or whatever. And quite often whenever we look at Facebook groups and things like that, and a lot of the questions we get asked is, is that ship, quite formal and things like that? Definitely not.
Not on Marella.
Yeah,
no.
not on Marella. There was people out just wearing jeans and a t-shirt or jeans and a jumper, and that's fine.
As long as you don't turn up to a restaurant in flip-flops, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
So for dinner tonight, we had pre-booked before we had even come on board to go to the specialty steakhouse restaurant Onboard. And this is called Surf and Turf. So here is a quick look around the restaurant and at the menu.
For starters, we both had the same thing, which was the deep fried chicken bouquet.
What made it a bouquet?
I
Because
don't
it didn't
really know.
really look like flowers.
No. But lovely little pieces of chicken. And I really liked crispy batter. And they were really delicious.
It was good. I would say it was slightly greasy. It was quite greasy on the plate, but it was nice on the tongue.
Yeah, we still
yeah,
had it.
still at it.
And then for our main, we both had the 8-ounce sirloin. Now, there's always drama whenever we go to a steakhouse, and this is Will doing his bit for me because I love a steak. But realistically, Will needs to just go with the vegetarian option, I think, from now on. We both had the sirloin.
Yes, but you get the steak. So Johnny gets his steak well done. So a lot of people would be like, well, what's even the point of getting the steak because you're not enjoying that? Whereas I would get mine medium to medium well. But regardless of what steak I get, it's just not something I would crave, something I would greatly enjoy. Like, I will eat it, but it's just not really a thing that I go, oh, steak, yeah. I just don't go crazy ever, and it's always been that way. I go because you want to go.
Unfortunately, though, he could have picked the vegetarian option and didn't.
Yeah, I could have done
So
that.
you can see how this is a Will's problem.
From now on, I'm picking the vegetarian option.
From now on, Will does not get allowed to pick an option. I will just pick it for him, and it will be the vegetarian option.
But it was really well presented. It came with a bridge of onion rings. And then I got the chips, or the steak fries.
Yep.
And the seasonal veg. What was your side?
I had the seasonal veg as well, but then I also had the creamed spinach.
But it's a really nice venue up there, and surprisingly busy. Like, it's
busy.
quite a small little space, and there's just like seats. It's still a lot of space between the tables, but it's a very popular restaurant on board this ship.
And like we had picked, the first dining time, which was like 6 o'clock, because they sort of staggered them maybe sort of 15 minutes. And we had picked 6 o'clock. We were a few minutes late, but it was busy even for us getting there.
Yeah.
But again, service was quick enough.
It was good, yeah.
Yeah.
Service was good.
And then for dessert, for dessert I had the apple tart, which was delicious. Lovely little the pastry on it was really nice. It was just beautiful.
I had a dessert called the fresh fruit coupe.
Well, a coupe's where the pigeons, or is it where chickens live? Is it not? So it wasn't a
coupe. Then
I think it was a coupe.
COUPE.
With a little thing over the E.
Yes. So it was like a sorbet, fruit, and then like a sauce. But the fruit was quite tart, and the sorbet sort of balanced it out, and it made for like a really refreshing dessert, not a very like stodgy dessert. It was actually really nice.
Yeah. After our meal, we left feeling. Well, I left feeling busted. But anyway, it was showtime, and we'd head then to the Broadway show lounge. And well, as we got in, it was packed. The show obviously was so packed. I think the first night you'll always sort of get people that maybe if it's their first time cruising, they're like, oh, I wonder when we go to that show or we not.
And the first night there's only one show.
Yeah. So we went to the showtime, which was Life Story, and it was all about Abba. And I think, probably like everybody loves Abba, which is probably why they go. Especially that lady that was 2 rows behind us that sang every song.
She did not sing. She sang more. Yeah, she sang a lot. some really good performances from the group, and obviously 4 of the singing group made up the ABBA and the pairing, and then one of that team sang but also did like the narration throughout. And it was a really like throughout the years like story of the life. And yeah, so far so good, like really, really good performances, and we're really, really enjoying it.
Yeah. So then afterwards, we decided then to go back up to deck 11, and outside of sort of where Surf and Turf is, there is a bar called Bar 11. So we took the panoramic lifts upstairs to deck 11 to Bar 11, and we had no trouble getting a seat. We headed straight for the bar. We do like sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
And we had some lovely cocktails. Well, I had some lovely cocktails, which was like I don't even know what it was called now, but I'm gonna have to get another one on this cruise, and then we can put the name of it on the screen now. But it was a vodka based drink.
Yeah, and I had the one that was the mojito. What was it? Something mojito.
Yeah, it was some sort of mojito you had.
Like a spicy mojito.
And then you went on to the beers.
And just beers.
Yeah.
But the good thing about sitting at the bar is that you'll normally not have to ask for another drink. When the barman gets his little lulls in his busy times, between the busy times, I mean, he'll just normally say another one.
Like he was getting our drinks even before we asked for them.
So
yeah, the bar service has been fantastic so far.
So after a few drinks, we decided to call it a night, because tomorrow we have a very exciting excursion, which...
Something very different for us.
Yeah, a bit different for us, which involves me driving a car. So stay tuned for that.
Not just any car, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
So folks, thanks for watching our video. If you've liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, stick them in the comments section below. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, as it really helps us grow our channel. And to be alerted the next time we post a new video, hit the little bell icon. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.